Bonjour, welcome everyone to the podcast. This is the second part episode about your unique place and your environment. So if you haven't listened the previous episode, I will suggest that you pause this one and you go back in town and you come back to it a bit later. So I want to continue the exploration of the different environment and places where you can thrive into and nurture yourself and your kids, of course, always. Uh, Last episode we saw the first three colors for the environment. So we are going to continue today with the upper colors. So just a little bit reminder, your environment is your unique place where you find effectiveness and success and longevity. What a program, isn't it? And all that is possible and accessible to you in your chart. Uh, so I just gonna repeat how many environments exist. So there is 12 environments. This is color: cave, market, kitchen, mountain, valley, shore, with two variants each time. Last week we saw cave, selective and blending, market, internal and external, and kitchen, wet or dry. And this week we are going to talk about the higher upper colors, which are mountains, active, passive, valley, wide or narrow, and shore, natural or artificial. As I said in the previous episode, those upper colors are called landscape, and it's about more circumstances more than condition. It's been that it's really about the environmental space to be really out in the more open environment. And you are not going to live under a tree. But yeah, that's going to be a bit different from the lower color. So let's start with the fourth color. What I wanted to say, let me just put the record in. There we go. So the first color is the mountain. And the mountain is basically the transition between the lower color and the upper colors. So there is a kind of movement from the hardscape to the landscape. And it's really something who has to do with the inside, outside. Which has not, sorry, linked, because the mountain is really represent the reduction of oxygen. So the higher you are, the less oxygen you get, of course, to breathe. And that it's really important for the mountain environment. Don't have to live on Mount Everest for for living your best environment, but living on the top of an apartment or the last story is going to be more beneficial for you. Or if you have an office, at the top of a building, and when you go down the elevator, maybe you're going to feel a bit depressed. But if you go camping and you put your tent on the top of the hill, you are going to feel way much better. So, like if you have a child who is mountain environment and he's sick, you want to keep your children, like next to you in the living room, when actually it's going to be more beneficial for them to be at the top floor upstairs, and maybe even on the top bunk bed in their bedroom will be more beneficial for them. So mountains people are doing best in exposed places. So it's a kind of consciousness environment in an exposed environment. And it's really about having the perception and, having this overview and seeing what's happening in a natural environment. We are talking about the landscape, so it's natural. So yeah, it's really about having this perspective. My partner is a mountain environment, and every single night he goes out and well, we already live on the hill, so it's really beneficial for him. It's a perfect environment for him, and we have an amazing view. We can see the mountain, we can see the river, we can see the little village, we can see the valley, and we have like a 360 degrees view. He has amazing perspective. He always goes there for reflect of the day, or just chill. It's his space, and it was actually the same where we were living before. It was not on the top of the hill, but he was going on the top of the hill in our paddock for chill in the evening. Yeah. So that's important. But for a mountain person, it's also important to connect with others, because it's how they are going to survive in the mountain, They don't like the crowd, but they need to have reliable supplies, coming to them. So for them, having a high ground will always make a really good different for them. I haven't seen it personally. I haven't experienced it, but a lot of smoker can have, and what I'm going to say can be a bit controversial, but a lot of smoker can be mounted because by smoking they have a reduction of oxygen, and then they are gonna feel better with less oxygen than others. Depending on the arrow facing left or right, you can be in a passive environment or an active environment as mountain. So yeah, if you're passive, you're always going to be a bit more relaxed. And the passive can be a bit more isolated than the active one, because in the active environment, it's really about meeting more people. So that makes a difference. The fifth color is the valley, and the valley is really an acoustic environment. It's a wide open, park in the city, for example, in an open space where the acoustic frequency can change. And also, to do the comparison with the fifth line, we are looking at fifth line profile. We are looking at the theme of universalization. So the valley is really about where the acoustic ability are. It's a place where we communicate. Traditionally the valley had the river running down through them, and it's the ground floor where you can see everything going by. It's kind of people who love to sit on the front porch and share a cuppa with the neighbors, or just to go on the sidewalk of a cafe, watching or being watched. And it's really about sharing. Like most of the traditional older city were built in the valley where there is movement and exchange. It's really about expanding the consciousness. So if your child is fifth color, and they are not going to feel good, you take them to the ground floor. So that's very interesting. I have a client who have moved in 2 stories, and no, sorry. She have moved in an apartment on the first floor, when just before she was on the ground floor, like the first floor. And she was feeling really, she's Valley environment, and she felt very grounded on the previous apartment she was in too. But when she moved in on the fourth floor, she couldn't sleep well, and she was not feeling grounded, so she was struggling massively. And her son, who is mounted, was really thriving for him, because it was like amazing for him to be on higher floor. So you see, like, it's a bit difficult in a family sometimes to have two different uh, environments, but she had to move this apartment, and she took a loft where she had a room on the ground floor, and her son could stay on the first floor. So it was a win-win for everyone, and it was really not the right place for her. So yeah, it just awareness and knowing what is beneficial for you and your family. And as I said in the previous episode, for your child, it can really help him, her, to thrive in their life and to feel very well and even to heal. But for children, it's going to be really, really, if really you support them with their own design, and you do, all the rest of their design correctly for them, the environment will be more important for them after the Saturn return, like late 20s, 30. So what else for the Valley? They are really chatty people, and they love gossiping. I have a friend who is Valley, and she always tell me stories about other, like, massively, even people that I don't know. Like, she knows everything about everyone. That's really interesting. And also the Valley brings the people together, stranger mostly, the foreigner, people with different habits, and they are going to stimulate each other and attract each other. So it's really about communicating with the others. So I think I gave this example already. One of my clients, she didn't feel really energized at home as a healer, and she went to cafe every morning, and she met people over there, and she got more booking from there, and she even find another healer that she can share the practice with. So you see, it's bring more opportunity and more success in your life. So depending, you can be of your arrow facing, right or left. You can be narrow valley, which is mean that it's more like in the narrow streets, or places where the sound is going to be more close to you. Or if you are a wide valley, it's still more relaxed. It's a bit more natural, as a valley as it is, where the sound is going to be a bit further away. The last color is shore. So when we move to the sixth color, we are really at the transition. It's all about transition. So it's really like living on an island, or living by the river. And the founder of Human Design, he was offshore, and he basically lived on an island in Ibiza. So yeah, it's really a place of transition. And actually, if we do the comparison with the 6-line profile, the role model, it's really like the mutation where things moving forward. So with the transition, there is boundaries, and the shore are boundaries by itself. So there is a limitation. To live on an island, there is a limitation to live on an island, and it can feel like a bit imprisoned, like you're, stuck on it sometimes. I'm sure. My environment is sure. I live in New Zealand, and I really feel good here. I'm on an island. I'm surrounded by the water, but yeah, it can have its limitation. I can see the boundaries. um, so when you have a shore environment, you really are set up to see things beyond. There is always something on the other side, somewhere else. It can be all the boundaries between states or districts, like neighborhoods, being between the city and the countryside. It's exactly where I am right now. um, yeah, it's really, uh, suburb slash city, this kind of boundary lines. A river can be actually a boundary line, a highway, a railroad, everything can be boundaries, basically, a mountain chain. I have it all where I am, basically, so I'm really in the right environment for me, for sure. But it's really really having the perspective and see what's happening on the other side. Like in my office, not right now because I closed the doors and curtain, but I can see on the both sides what's happening. I have the forest on one side, and I have the valley and the mountain and the river on the other one. So you need to have this kind of view around in front of you. And it's really about to be on the edge of things, in and out, as I was saying. I enjoy to live in the countryside, but I like to be close to town when I want to go and explore the pleasure of the time, of the town, city, when it suits me. And then, it's how I can have all the possibilities and attract what I need. Because for me, as a shore, it have to come from somewhere else. And I'm French. My partner is Scottish. I live in New Zealand. We have two language, three culture with New Zealand. So it's really navigating between different faiths, different belief system, and being on the bridge all the time, on the edge. I'm still living on this hill, on the edge, basically. um, so yeah, that's really a place where there is a lot of transition. And if you have, depending on if you have your arrow on the side or on the left, you can have a natural shore environment or an artificial one. So the natural one is going to be more, like near the lake or the ocean or the river or going to the beach. Where with the artificial, it's more going, like at the border between different kind of landscape transition. So yeah, that's it for the three upper colors. And you can always look for the transference. For example, when you have a shore environment, you can look for being in the kitchen, and it's, if you know me or if you have followed the previous episode, you know that I'm passionate also with pastries, and I love spending time in my kitchen, but it's not my environment. I'm sure. I'm sure, and I'm sure. Yeah. Anyway, you understand that when you are in the right environment, everything changes for you. Everything comes to you naturally. It's in you. It's more flowy. You have less resistance, and you increase your quality of life, basically. So really pay attention where you are. Is it the right environment for you? Is it fit with your design environment? And like in the correct environment, you're gonna have all the benefits of your inner design who are gonna come to you naturally. And as I said previously, if you have resistance, look where you are. Is it your place? Is it the correct place for you? Are you interacting with the people you need to? Because environment is extremely powerful. It's really going to give you all the advantage that you need in your life. So if you need help with learning about your unique design, your unique place, and your family dynamic, because as you see, like it's not always easy to find the correct environment for everyone in the family, but awareness is key. And if you understand your design, you can really find solution, practical solution, and I'm here for you to help you to discover those practical solutions. And I'm basically giving you the skills to the skills and the tools to thrive in life, thrive in your environment, and helping you on your journey. So if you are ready to embark on a beautiful transformative journey with me, and you can have a look on my website. You can book directly from there. I will put the link on the show notes of this episode. And yeah, it was for you and for your children, of course. That's it for today. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions. We'll be happy to answer to it. And I will talk to you in a future episode. Lot of love. Create a wonderful day. Bye.